Yo, what's good, guys? Today's story time takes place sophomore year. I was 15 at the time. This was 10th grade. I think, no, not think, I definitely know. Um, yeah, this year was my peak dumbass year. Like, I've done some stupid shit throughout my life, but, sophomore year was my peak. That was my peak dumbass. So, let's all get in the mindset, the perspective of, 10th grade 15-year-old me. And, yeah, let's get started. So this all started off on a normal day. I just woken up. It was a school day actually. So I was waking up. Um, got up, took a shower, brushed my teeth, ate some breakfast, whatever the fuck else 10th graders do in the morning to get ready for school, and I walked to school. All right, so I walked to school. Um, got through that day. Man, just thinking about going to school just to get through the day just brings me back. But anyway, I got through that day, did whatever I had to do to just get through it, right? And, yeah, finished off the school day, and then I had work after that. So I went to work. At the time, I was working at this sushi restaurant. It was like a local fish shop, but they did all kind of seafood. You guys get my point. It was a little local seafood restaurant spot. And my friend Caden, who's been in, under the school story time, my friend Caden's the one who got me this job. He got me this job. I didn't even have to take an interview or nothing. I didn't even have my SSN or whatever ready at the time. He just was like, yo, this is my homie. And they're like, yeah, you can work here. So yeah, that's how I got that job. Anyway. So this was, I can't remember if this was like around my first time when I started working, but it was around the time when I first started working, so Caden was still kind of doing shifts with me. I think I pretty much had it figured out at that point. I can't remember if I was still in training, but you guys get my point. Fucking wait for this goddamn airplane that's going over my head. But yeah, y'all get the point. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Spent like 2 weeks trying to record a video. This motherfucker is going to like Alaska or some shit. Anyway, enjoy your vacation. Back to the video. My friend Caden was working the shift with me, showing me the ropes of the spot. And, yeah, so, while we were working at some point in the night, he brought up something, he, like, mentioned, that he had this family friend, she was a girl who was, I think she was either a year or 2 years younger than us, I can't remember. But she was, like, a really close family friend, and she was the daughter of, like, the, owner of the restaurant, right? So yeah, and Caden's family was like family tied in. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Like they're not like your blood family, but they're your family because your parents knew each other before y'all were born, type shit. So so yeah, fucking, that's how I knew her, right? And her dad was the owner of this seafood restaurant we were working at. That's gonna be important later. Remember that. So, um, yeah, he said something about these girls. They got this like, dude, I'm just gonna say how he said it. It was really fucking stupid. But you know, we were 10th graders. These girls had these ops. Fucking, by ops I mean the whatever girl they didn't like or whatever was going on between them. Anyway, they wanted to TP their house, right? Wanted to do a little TP mission. Wanted to throw a bunch of toilet paper over the person's house. So, um, they asked my friend if Caden if he wanted to be the driver. I guess I don't really know. I don't know what happened between them. All I know is Caden told me, hey, after work I'm going to pick up these girls and they're gonna TP their ops house or whatever, right? You want to come with? And I was like, you know what, fuck it. You know, I don't got anything else to do after work. I was gonna go home and fucking play some video games or some shit. I don't remember. And you know what? I thought it'd be chill. You know, smoke up with the bro, do whatever he's doing with his friends, and fuck, boy was I wrong. Anyway, so we get in our shift ends. We were the closing shift, so everyone finished up what they were doing. We were the closing shift, so we had to close up everything like that. After we finished what we were doing, closed up, went to his car, which was parked, just in the parking lot of the place. And we did, closed up, locked up, clocked out, and we left. And yeah, so we're driving over to where the area they said they were doing this, right? And Caden's calling them. He's calling them. I think the first time they didn't answer, and we got a little closer. And he called them again, and they answered this time, like second ring, third ring, something like that. So these girls, right? They were literally like when they finally answered, right, after he called them a few times, and they were like, Caden, where are you? And Caden was like, I'm almost to like where you guys said to pick you up. I don't know. Fucking, what's up? What's going on? And they're like, we already did it. Like, we need you to come grab us. Like, we kind of just did it and ran. So, Caden's like, all right, where are you guys? And they're like, we're hiding in this parking lot, like, behind this, like, grocery store. And we were actually, like, pulling up right into that area because it was the same area of where they were doing it. So he was like, all right, perfect. I'm, like, right down the street, just, like, come out. And so we get into the parking lot of the grocery store, and these girls come out from, like, the corner of the building, looking sketchy as fuck at night, alright, I'm gonna say it. And, yeah, they looked pretty sketchy, just, like they were, I don't know, they looked like they were about to get, like, in the FBI, like, fucking, or whatever, drug administration, like, bust a dealer, and the dealer is just so, like, you know what I'm trying to say, like, the dealer's gonna be suspicious and looking a little, like, spooked. Anyway, they looked like that. So they came out from the side of the building. They look guilty, that's what I'm trying to say. They look like they just did some shit. So they came out the side of the building. They hop in the car, and they're like, drive, go. And Caden's like, whoa, what's going on? So he goes, and they're telling us that they, like, did it, and they're, like, on the phone with the girl. I don't know, it's pretty chaotic. There was arguing over the phone with her and the girl, right? So anyway, we grab them and we drive away. This whole time, it was the girl, right, that Caden knew, and this girl's friend. Those are the two girls that TP'd the girl they didn't like house. So yeah, we grabbed her and her friend, and we dipped. And this whole time they're just arguing with this girl they didn't like on the phone about what just happened. I can't even make out the conversation, dude. I can't, much less remember it. But there was a lot of female arguing going on, and they hang up, right? Their phone call ends, and they're like, "Circle back, all right? Circle back. We're gonna run it again, like the TP." And me and Caden look at each other, and right as I was about, like, we when, like, I don't know, we looked at each other, we locked eyes, and right when I was about to say, like, yo, this isn't a good idea. Let's call it and dip. Let's go smoke or some shit, right? Like, I was trying to just have a chiller night. So right when I was about to suggest that, Caden's like, all right, fuck it, where's it at? And in my mind at that point, I knew I was along for the ride then. He's already turning around. So, he turns around, and, they're like, oh, it's, around, like, you go back, so you drive back to the grocery store where we picked them up, and they're like, it's down this street, turn here, and go down, like, that street. So we go down this street, and they're like, all right, that's her house. We're driving a little bit, we get to her house on her street. And I couldn't see who it was because it was pitch dark out. It was nighttime. It was like 10 o'clock, some shit like that. So I couldn't see who it was. But I could see some people, like, outside her house, meaning it was the family, some of the family members. And there was a flashlight. Like, I could see them looking around. They were trying to, like, because they had just done this, so they were probably just finding out the entire house got TP'd. And they were looking around for who did it. They had their flashlights out. They were looking on their street. That should have been the sign for us to just, keep driving. But, as Caden's slowing down, the girls in the passenger seats, right, Caden's friends, roll down his window, and they start, like, yelling insults from the car through the window to the family, whoever it was, like, with the flashlights looking around. And then they started, the girl that they didn't like came out, or whoever, the girl that they were trying to get revenge on or whatever, who lived there, came out, and they started yelling insults at her. And, yeah, they were basically just escalating the situation. And the family shines their flashlights at us. at the car. And Caden's like, oh no, fuck this. And he takes off. He takes off down the other end of the street and we dip. So we're driving away, and Caden's just like, nah, fuck that, right? I'm not trying to get my license put down or whatever. And the girls get a phone call on their phone, and it's from the girl they didn't like. So they answer, and just immediately there's yelling and more yelling and arguing, and they're continuing to just piss off this girl and her family, and they're just like, oh, you're mad, stay mad, like just stupid shit, right? Escalating the situation still. And they're just talking shit, right? As the girl is like just yelling, pissed off. So that phone call ends, the next argument, and they told us something then. They told us, like, because Caden asked them, like, dude, who is this girl? And like, what is going on? So they tell us some stuff. They tell us that this girl they didn't like was a full-on furry. Now, if anyone watching doesn't know what a furry is, I'm not going to explain it. I'm not going to go into any detail. If you still want to know, go ahead and do a quick Google search. I do recommend putting your shit on private or incognito or whatever. But, yeah, you guys can look that up on your own time. So, yeah, they tell us this. They tell us that her sister is kind of, like, I don't know, a little... I feel like I don't know if I'll get canceled for saying this shit about that, but, like, you know, a little unhinged, screw a little loose. I don't know how to say it, but they like playing dress up, right? They like playing dress up. I'll leave it at that. So they tell us that the two sisters or whatever, they like playing dress up. Their dad likes to drink. His favorite drink being root beer. If you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, their dad likes to drink a lot of root beer, especially at night, right? They tell us that he's a big time root beer drinker. And they didn't have much to say about the mother. The mother must have been the good apple of the bunch. But yeah, so they tell us that. And me and Caden, we're just looking at each other like, what the fuck did we get ourselves into, right? So we're already, like, by this time we have driven away. Like, we're on our way to drop these girls off, right? Caden's like, alright, I'm going to take you guys home. I'm going to drop you guys off. Because it was getting late, too. By this point, it was, like, 11. And they're like, alright, yeah, just take us home. We had to drop her and her friend off at just the girl who Caden knew, like, the family friend. We had to drop her off at her house, right? So our bosses at the time, our boss's house. We had to take her home. So we're driving home, right? And we get to a stoplight. And it's a red light, so we're sitting there a bit. And I noticed something after sitting at that light for, like, a little bit. There's this big black truck. Like, I'm not sure which truck it was, but it was a large black truck. Pulled up behind us. I don't think much of it, you know. But its flashlights, like its headlights, are on our car. So I mean, I don't know. It's a little weird, but I don't know. We live in a area of suspicious drivers, so you know, I didn't think much of it until her friends saw the truck. Caden's friends, sorry. I just used Caden in her terms. My bad, bro, if you're listening to this. But so Caden's friends in the passenger seat, they noticed the truck. And they're like, "Oh shit, that is her father. Go, drive." And Caden's like, "What?" The light turns green. And he literally, like, dude, this turned into some Fast and Furious shit. It went from us just sitting at the light to Fast and Furious movie. Like, I swear to God, I can't put it any other way. What's that term they use? Drop a gear, disappear. That's literally what he did at the light. He dropped a gear and he took the fuck off. And we're driving down the street. The light goes green. And the guy's like, he didn't expect us to just, as soon as the light turned green, to punch it. So he was a little bit behind us, but he was gaining on us, right? And Kane's like, we don't know what's happening. Kane's just like, alright, I guess we have to dip. So this guy's chasing us. He's getting closer. We're driving down this street pretty fast. And the only way I can describe this moment was it felt like I was in a Fast and Furious movie. One moment, I was getting off work, chilling with my friend, Stuff started escalating. We were at a red light. I thought we were good. The next moment, I'm literally the next, like, extra in a fucking Fast and Furious movie. So we're fucking driving, and this guy's chasing us. And, Caden would turn down a street. He would turn down that street. We would fucking keep driving. He would keep following us. We'd turn on another street. It was long, right? This segment went on for probably like 3 to 5 minutes of just driving. Until we get a little farther, from where all this all took place. And Caden, so we're driving down this road, and there's a fork off, right? So you could either keep going straight, turn right, or you could turn left down this little narrow corner. It was a really sharp turn. And Caden's like, all right, I'm going to try some shit and just, like, make a quick, like, drift turn down that little sharp corner, right? Like, the going right was a big open one, but this one he was just going to do a quick little turn. So, we get to that fork. I haven't drifted a car before, so I don't really know how to say this, but he, like, swerves the wheel. He's, like, basically trying to go from driving straight to drifting down this narrow-ass street turn. And, I don't know, something happened. He didn't clutch it up, and, we spin out, like, once, maybe once and 1.5 spin outs. Like, basically he loses control of the car, right? Pretty bad stuff. Don't ever do this type of shit. Very dangerous. That's how people lose their lives. And he's like going, basically he's lost control of the car, and we're going into this person's driveway on that street we turned into. And literally, I kid you fucking not, he slams on the brakes, like, literally a centimeter moment fucking, basically the person's car was in the driveway, we're spinning out, and we literally were like bumper to bumper. We almost hit that person's car, but there was no contact. I think you guys are trying to understand what I'm trying to say. So, like, and literally a split moment later when he hit the brakes, and we would have crashed into that fucking person's car in the driveway and, like, been fucked. This whole time that guy is, like, behind us too. So, Caden does his spin. It spins out, like, he loses control of the car, and we barely, like, don't crash into this, like, we barely don't make it. We barely make it without crashing. And Kane's like, fuck, like, he slams on the wheel. He's just pissed, right? He's like, dude, fuck. And this guy, right, as soon as that happened, this guy in his big-ass fucking truck, compensating for something, fucking head-ass. This guy in his fucking truck, right? You remember how I said this turn-off was super narrow-ass street, super quick turn, short turn? His truck was big enough to block off enough of that turn where we couldn't get back out. So we were fucked. And so he blocks us off. Right? And Caden's like, fuck, he's blocking us off. And he's trying to, like, Caden finally gets out of the parking lot, turns around, he's trying to go, and the car's just, like, not letting us get back out, right? And, right then, me and Caden's 2 other best friends at the time who were kicking it with us, basically the 2 other, our 2 other boys, right, our 2 other friends that were our best friends at the time, Garrett and Owen were their names. They see this. They see us. They must have been so fucking high or drunk or something out of their minds. They must have been so out of their minds that they didn't notice this truck blocking us off. And they came up to Caden's car. And they're like, yo, what's good? What's up, Caden? Like, knocking on the window. And this whole time, we're like, adrenaline rush. Just went through some shit. And me and Caden are, like, banging on the window. Like, go. We're motioning and waiting for them to dip. Because we don't even have time to talk to them, right? We're like, go, leave. And we roll the window down, and we're like, go. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, they were fucked up, right? But they were just trying to say what's up. Like, I'm not saying, like, they were in the wrong, but you get my point. They weren't really aware of what was going on. They were trying to say what's up, but they came up right to our car. We had to roll down the window, and we're like, you see that truck over there? I'm like, yeah. We're like, that car is fucking chasing us. We just went through a whole car chase with that motherfucker. Leave. Get the fuck out of here. As soon as they hear that, they dip. They were like, oh, fuck no, we don't want any part in this. So, the father, whoever it was the girl's father, fucking of course. And, yeah, that's what they told us. gets out of the car, right? And he's on the phone. He's on the phone with the police. Is what Caden heard. So when he gets out of his car, Caden managed to get like an opening and leave. Like after he got dude, so he got out of his car, he got on the phone with the police, and Caden was able to leave. Like he was able to get out of there. And we were driving away, right? Finally got away from that way he blocked us off. And Caden's like, he's literally saying like, dude, that guy was like, I heard him on the phone. He was slurring his words. Like he was on the phone with the operator and like was basically giving them like the car information and telling them what happened. But Caden said he heard the conversation, and the guy was like, he literally got he got the like a letter off of the car model, so he said the car model completely wrong. And for the license plate, like he said part of the license plate right, but then for the rest just like was saying random stuff that had nothing to do with my friend's license plate. You know, like, so I mean, what that tells us is this guy had been drinking some root beer that night, and we got into a car chase, very intense one, I will say, a very adrenaline rushing, very Fast and Furious type chase with a root beer drinker and an angry father. So mix an angry father with a root beer drinker with late night driving chase, and that's what the fuck we just went through. So now we're this girl calls her the girls are fucking scared too, shitless. They fucking pissed themselves some shit, dude. Cause like, I mean, we almost just dude, you guys can get what I'm saying. We almost just fucking crashed and shit. So they're on the phone with their parents, which is our boss's family, and they're telling them like, cause they told him Caden was bringing them home, like everyone knows each other, and they were like telling them what the fuck happened, and they're like, dude, just get home now. Like, I'm glad you guys are safe, everything's okay. Just get home now. And they were like, all right, yeah, for sure. So they say goodbye to their parents. Or they say goodbye to the girls. Caden's friend, that girl's parents. They say goodbye to them. And Caden's like, all right, I'm dropping you guys off now. So we get to, we drive. It was like a 2-3 minute more drive. We get to their house. And they're like, all right, thanks, Caden. We're sorry we got you into that. Like, that was some fucking shit. We never expected it to get that bad. We're really sorry. And me and Caden, I mean, we're kind of pissing ourselves a little bit too, not gonna lie. We're still kind of shaking from all that adrenaline. And Caden's just like, fuck, dude, just don't ever do some shit like that again, right? So they get out. They're like, good night, we're sorry again. And they leave. They go to their house. And we can see in the door, we can see her mother, like, standing in the door frame. And there was, like, an interaction between them. They all go inside, right? And Caden's just like, fuck, dude. And then her dad comes out. And he's just like, he's looking around and he's just pissed. He like looks at Caden in the car, but he's not like coming towards us. He just looks pissed, right? And he goes back inside. And then Caden leaves. And he calls up his friend, right? Because like, dude, literally his mom is like best friends with her mom type shit. So he's not trying to fuck anything up between the family. And he's calling them back and he's like, yo, like your parents seem really mad. Like, did you tell them what happened? And like, he was basically just asking them if they told him the situation and, like, tried to explain it. And they were like, yeah, we did. Our parents are super pissed, though. The girl was like, my parents are super pissed. And Caden was like, can I talk to your mom, please? Like, can I just talk to her? And, like, and he was, like, just trying to, like, say sorry, you know, apologize. And the girl was like, no, my mom's so mad right now. She doesn't even, she said, she said, she was literally like, my mom said she doesn't want to talk to you. And, yeah, then we said goodbye and hung up the phone. Caden was at a loss for words. He was pretty distraught, and yeah, it was a pretty depressing situation. So we drive away. I'm just trying to talk to Caden, you know, talk about the crazy shit. Or I was just talking to him, you know, trying to get his mind off thinking about the family and just trying to talk to him about, like, dude, thank fuck, bro. You know how much worse I could have gone? You didn't crash your car. There's no damage to your car. The fucking drunk got the license plate and car info wrong. And, basically, I was just trying to show him the light, or the optimistic side of the situation. get his mind off the depressing part. And yeah, so Kaden calls our friend Owen and Garrison, right? We call him Gary for short, so I'll just use that name now. Owen and Gary. Calls up Owen and Gary, and he's like, yo, we just got finished through that shit. That shit was like, dude, we were just like, hey, where you guys at? Let's smoke up. We need to smoke this stress away. Dude, that adrenaline was fucking crazy, and we just wanted to forget that night. We wanted to smoke, sesh, and go to bed and act like nothing ever happened. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted nothing more. So we call them up, and they're like, yo, we're at the library, the nearest library in the neighborhood from where all that happened. And like, yo, we're in the library parking lot. Like, what the fuck? Come over here. We'll smoke up here, and then we'll figure it out from there, right? So we go to the library. They get in the car. We're just talking about it, right? Me and Kaden tell them everything, start to finish, from like when we were at work. Basically, everything I told you guys in this story time, but like from when I went to work forward. We tell them everything. We're having a little story time chat. And they're just like, fuck. Damn. Alright, you guys trying to smoke? And me and Kaden were like, yup, you know it. Only way we can think to deal with this now. So, we start session. We get some nice bowl rips going, some bong rips going. We dropped off Owen and Garrison, tried to have we probably had like 30 minutes with our friends before we all had to go home. Because then it was getting like 12:30. So yeah, we were basically trying to enjoy the last 30 minutes of the night the most we can to forget about what just happened, smoking up with the group. It was me, Kaden, Owen, and Garrison. That was our circle, our smoke circle back then. So we were just trying to enjoy the rest of the night. And yeah, got pretty high, forgot about it, and we all went home and went to sleep. Moral of the story, don't be like Kaden in this story time. Don't get yourself into these stupid situations. Just, if someone tells you they're gonna do some shit that's like, I guess this time it was borderline illegal, but if someone's ever telling you they're gonna do some fucked up shit and they want you to get involved, say no. Just say no. Because if Kaden would have done that, this all wouldn't have happened. So moral of the story, just say no. If someone, just say no. Don't be like Kaden. Don't get yourself wrapped up into other people's problems. And, yeah, it's the end of this story time. Fucking have a wonderful day.